must have something to do with that
Portal.
partial eclipse we're having in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, April 8th.
April 8th.
I
Yeah,
want to
Everybody's all
stay.
out about it.
Say all you want. Yeah, I think that well, it's a little bit more than partial eclipse for us in California. It's like 70% or something.
Yeah, no, Colorado has pretty good eclipse exposure that day too. It's gonna be interesting. Everybody making a big hubbub about it.
Hubbub about it. Oh yeah, no,
Hubbub.
it's huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
All kinds
Like-
of stuff. Speaking of huge,
Dude.
our show, episode 10.
Episode 10, season 4. I mean, this is good shit. Good shit. Different new night. Back to an older night that we used to be on due to my work schedule.
Yep. Now we have to shift around based on your schedule, so
Yeah.
that's fine. Because I mean, yeah, otherwise I'm off in the evening, so it doesn't really matter what night I do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you wanna
I'm excited. Let's jump into this.
Let's jump into this. You want to hit the intro and we can really dive into these Foo Fighters and see what's going on.
Moron.
Yeah, let's do that before my ghost continues to insult me.
Mean tonight.
Mine's being bitchy. I've got a bitchy ghost. Bitchy ghost talking to me as moron, idiotic, all kinds of stuff. It's gonna be fun. All right, Spirits with Spirits podcast in 5, 4, 3, 2. Spirits with Spirits.
What's up, everyone? Welcome into Spirits of Spirits. I'm your host for Ghosts, Mr. John Watkins, and everybody knows and loves the most famous host with the most famous Daves. Get your barbecue.
Famous Daves. Try my barbecue. While you're at it, watch Ghosts.
Let's watch Ghosts.
Watch
How you doing tonight, Dave?
Doing pretty good. I got powdered sugar all over me, which is a lot like glitter. It never comes off. So,
got movie buff over there on the Instagram. Thanks for joining us, movies.
That is Grant, my buddy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're talking about Ghosts tonight. Grant is very much a Disney person and very, very good friend of the show of Faces for Radio. Oh, yeah. So, thank you so much, Grant, for popping on. I really appreciate it.
I know he kind of hops in every week, so that's
more. No, he's big on Instagram, and he's been on the show a couple times on the Faces for Radio.
Oh, awesome!
So yeah, very cool.
Awesome. So you got face for radio. Before we get into this, we really do got to set up a date for John's favorite 5 sports movies.
Ancient Spirit.
We gotta get that set up.
We got to call on the Ancient Spirits.
I want to stay.
You can stay. Oh, we're gonna call on the. Just stop cussing me out. We're gonna call on the Ancient Spirits and decide when we want to do your high five. Now, We have done top 5 sports movies, but we haven't done your top 5 sports movies. So
No.
I think that's going to be fun. I'm gonna get with Rich, my co-host for Faces for Radio, and let's set that up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we do have themed high fives for the year, and we're doing once a month. So we're doing
Idiotic.
See? Fucking god damn it.
I was kind of hoping to maybe do it during our summer break type thing.
That's exactly what I was thinking, because during our summer break, we're not doing the show, so we can bring you on and do that, because we'll be doing more high fives during that time. So I was thinking, late June, July, somewhere. As long as it doesn't interfere with either of our anniversaries or Satan.
Or Satan.
We don't want it to interfere with Satan.
Or Raymond. Because everybody loves Raymond.
Everybody loves Raymond.
All
right.
Well, man,
so you're drinking rum and cokes tonight, right, brother?
I'm doing rum and coke tonight. It's an alcohol type occasion.
It does seem that way.
What's your beer of choice tonight, Dave?
My beer of choice. This is in honor of Spicy. I'm doing the Pacifico for Reed. So he's not on, but hopefully he catches us either on the replay or comes in later. But I told him that I was going to drink Pacifico for this show, and I'm doing it. And
Pacifico
it kind of fits with what we're doing tonight.
A little bit.
Don't be fearful.
We got some things that happened over the Pacific tonight.
We'll be talking about the Foo Fighters of World War II. And then on Scare Network, we're going to be talking about the Battle of Los Angeles, both of which are connected to the Pacific Ocean. So Pacifico is the beer.
Yeah. It's a stretch, but Dave made it.
I made it work. I was almost going to go Japanese and do the Japanese beer, which would have made sense too. But
good stuff.
The Foo Fighters. So my initial thought of what the Foo Fighters were was totally wrong.
Band.
So not Dave Grohl's band, but what I thought the Foo Fighters were as far as our theme, which is alien events.
Yeah.
I had it totally backwards. So my original thought, before I'd even started any research, before we'd even scheduled this, was that the Foo Fighters were the planes that actually spotted the aliens. Or
they
are what they named the anomaly.
What they named the alien craft itself. Yes.
Yeah. So that was funny. So I was like, oh, okay. So I was totally wrong. And I guess that's why my ghost tube's insulting me. So
idiot, moron. Yeah.
Why are you here?
Why are you here? Exactly. Why are you here?
Why are you even here, Dave? Why are you even here?
Why am I here? I don't know. Maybe because I did a lot of fucking work on it. I'm going to turn you off if you keep giving me shit.
Mine says it wants me out. So,
It wants you out so that you can find the skinwalkers that are on your property. Yeah. Mine just keeps, talking smack to me. It's like, calling me an idiot or stupid or moron. It's like I have another wife in the house. But no, she only does that to my face. So we're here to talk about the Foo Fighters of World War II. And if you want, bro, let's just jump right into the history file.
I want to stay.
You can
get into the history so we can dig deeper.
We can talk about this and score this bad boy. So take a look at the history of the Foo Fighters. Check this out. During World War II, Allied pilots would encounter mysterious aerial phenomena over Europe and the Pacific. These UFOs were given the name Foo Fighters. What were they? Where did they come from? When did they first appear? And most importantly, why were they there? These objects were first reported in March of 1942 by the Royal Air Force and referred to as lights following their aircraft. Similar sightings were reported by the Royal Air Force bombing crews in April of 1944. The first American sighting was the first week of October 1944. They were believed at first to be German Messerschmitt Me-163 rocket-powered interceptors, but those didn't operate at night. The majority of these sightings took place on the last week of November 1944, when pilots in Western Europe reported seeing fast-moving glowing objects following their craft. Described by some as resembling Christmas tree lights, these objects were described as fiery and glowing red, white, or orange. These UFOs seemed to toy with the reporting pilots by making wild turns and then vanishing. Objects would fly together in formation and displayed behavior that could only be denoted as intelligent. These objects never displayed hostile behavior, but could not be shot down or even outmaneuvered. The sightings were so widespread during this time that the lights earned a name. The European Theater of Operations called them Kraut Fireballs, but the American named Foo Fighters became the general term, even to be used to describe any UFO sighting during that period. The term Foo Fighter was first used by a radar operator in the 413th Night Fighter Squadron in November of 1944. It was borrowed from a comic strip of the Chicago Tribune called Smokey Stover, which sported the catchphrase, "Where there's foo, there's fire." During a mission debriefing on November 27, 1944, the unit's S2 intelligence officer described the account from the radar operator and pilot interviews in that a red ball of fire appeared to chase the pilot through a series of high-speed maneuvers. The officer stated that the radar operator appeared agitated, pulled the comic strip out of his back pocket, slammed it on the desk. Then he said, "It was another one of those fucking Foo Fighters," and stormed out. That name seemed to stick, for lack of a better one, and it was what the men of the 415th originally started calling these incidents: fucking Foo Fighters. In December of 1944, a press correspondent was sent to their base to investigate this story. It was at that time that a more PG term, Foo Fighters, was decided by the squadron commander and entered into the historical data. The military took these sightings very seriously, suspecting they might be a secret German weapon. On December 13, 1944, the Supreme Headquarters Allied Expeditionary Force in Paris issued a press release describing the phenomenon as a new German weapon. Further investigation revealed, however, that the German and Japanese pilots were reporting similar sightings. Were these alien ships or some new weapon invented by the enemy? The Robertson panel suggests that they could be reflections of light from ice crystals, electromagnetic phenomena, or electrostatic phenomena similar to St. Elmo's fire. One thing's for sure, if it is St. Elmo's fire, I feel this case burning in me. Burning in me.
You feel it burning in your day?
It's burning in me.
Evelyn.
I'm expecting Moron to show up on this thing. Because I was like, St. Elmo's fire. And I was like, I feel St. Elmo's fire burning in me. I just started singing the song while I was doing and I was like, yeah, that's pretty dumb. But I feel this case burning in me, bro.
It's amazing. Oh, shit. So There's some interesting happenings that happens. Hey, Kira's on. Hello, Kira.
Hello there.
There's some amazing things happening with the Foo Fighters and what was happening in World War II, because it started so early on in World War II and like up to the end, like up to Germany surrendering, it was like a constant. And it's and the Americans and British, the Allied forces, don't even know that Japan and Germany are actually having these same reports.
Yeah.
And so they're like, a secret weapons.
They're like, oh, the Germans, a secret German attack. And they're like, no, we're getting that too. That's happening on our end.
Yeah.
We thought you guys were doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cold.
Well,
I'm sorry.
like the first like big story that you hear about the Foo Fighters is with the 3 lieutenants that are on a night mission.
Yeah.
Right. Now I wrote their name down, but I write too small for my eyes to read my own writing. I gotta be better at that.
Especially after rum and coke. You need to increase the font.
But I think it was Fred Ringwald, Ed Schluter, and Donald Mayers.
Yeah.
Mayers
is the radio operator.
Mayers is the radio operator.
Yes.
I believe
Ringwald, yes.
Ringwald is actually the one that coined the term Foo Fighter.
That was the radio operator.
The radio operator is the one that coined the term Foo Fighter? Okay. Then it was Mayers, Donald Mayers.
Yeah. Donald Mayers gave the Foo Fighters their name. So he's the radio operator.
Yeah. We are eager to delve into this too, Kira.
Yeah.
I turn that down
for
some reason, but doesn't care.
But Ringwald, Frederick Fritz Ringwald, was the S2 intelligence officer. He was the one that conducted the interview afterwards, and he was the one that actually brought the name to the debriefing, which is kind of where it was.
Yeah. But so they're on a night mission and they see multiple of these balls of light in the air.
Yeah, in formation.
Yeah, they're flying the Rhine Valley River is where they're flying over, Rhine Valley. And just right above the hill, they see these orbs of light. They thought they were they thought they were the German fighter pilots.
Yeah.
And so they went to go intercept them, and they went gone.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, well, okay. So they turn around.
Yeah.
And then they appear behind them and start basically mimicking their movements, like teasing them. And then they would turn around to try to engage them again, and they would disappear. They were messing with them. But yeah, no, it was because the Myers is the native from Chicago who knew about the comic strip, and he was the one who coined the phrase Foo Fighters. Because he was on the radio with them as they were describing what was happening.
Yeah. Because Fred and Ed were actually up in the air.
Yes.
And the radio operator Donald, Fred and Ed.
Yeah. Pilot Lieutenant Ed. Yeah, Schluter. Yeah. So he was the pilot. Ringwald is the intelligence officer. Fred's the intelligence officer, and Myers is the radio operator.
Yeah.
So this is the triangle of love that is where the Foo Fighters came from. But this is over 2 years after the first sighting. The first sighting happened in 42 with the Royal Air Force.
Yeah, in like March or April.
Yeah, it was like, well, it was
My name is John.
April,
but
No, his name is John.
My name's John too.
I guess his name is John too, but I was like, okay, but yeah, March. It was March of 42 with the first sighting by the Royal Air Force, and they were like, I don't know what the heck that was. But I like the fact that when the Americans saw it, they were like, I think that was the Messerschmitt.
Yeah, and they're kind of secretive about what happened, right? They're like, nah, I don't think we should talk about.
I don't know if we should talk about this.
And then you have all the other pilots from the 415.
Yeah,
they're talking about it and like,
dude, yeah,
okay, all right, let's
like
talk
a whole
about
bunch
this.
of them. So yeah, November of 44, there was just a shitload of sightings. Like
and
the
holy shit.
The 415 Night Fighter Squadron, they were seeing them all over the place. There were so many that they were like, okay, we need to come up with something.
To call it. That's why they did the big story, because the journalist that was there. Hey, Mika. The journalist that was there was with the 415, and they were very open to talk to him about it. That's why the big story that came out the newspaper was about the 415, because they were so open about talking about what they have been experiencing.
Right.
And the crazy thing is, nobody told these guys to shut up.
No
one. They're like, no one.
Yeah. Thank you. My ghost says like, so you guys feel free to hit that like button for us. Appreciate that. And also subscribe to our channel.
But yeah, it was so interesting that during the research, and this reflects on my cover up story here, score, but no one tells these guys to shut up about a damn thing about what's happening. They're like, nah, if I tell them, go ahead and tell them. Now the higher ups, they're not worried about aliens though. They're worried about secret spy craft.
Yeah, they're worried about this being enemy shit.
Yeah, but they're not telling them to shut up about aliens at all.
No,
I was like, this is interesting. Like, they're like, say whatever you want. We're gonna worry about it being a fucking enemy aircraft.
Right. So between December 1944 and January 1945, the intelligence officer Ringwald. So this is after the whole shebang happened. They had 14 incidents between December and January.
Prison.
Yeah.
That's just during that month. And the biggest month was November. They had all kinds of sightings in November.
Yeah.
On December 13th, 1944, the Supreme Headquarters Allied Expeditionary Force has a press release in Paris where they say that this phenomenon is a new German weapon.
Yes. They're like, this is German technology.
Right. This is German technology, German weapon. We need to hide. This is, and it's like the war's almost over, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
War ends in 45.
The Allies are getting ready to win this, and they're like, wait a minute, what? Is this going to be a turnaround in the war? What the hell is going on?
I mean, but if you look at these things, it's like, this is crazy.
I like this picture. Because it reminds me of the B-52 sword. Because a lot of people,
a lot of these were bombing runs. They were,
it didn't just happen in this little area.
Yeah.
There's a report over Tokyo of a B-52 bomber that's flying over, and they're looking out their wing window and they see this huge burning sphere, I guess is the best way to put it. Or is how
burning in me.
This large burning sphere hanging out in the sky appeared aerodynamically like it should not be flying, and there was no means of propulsion system seen on the craft. And this is where it got interesting on the story. It follows their plane, and then it gets shot down.
Cut.
They shoot this thing down. And then another one shows up. And they're like, nope, we're getting the fuck out of here. And they end up fucking fleeing the area.
Yeah.
The B-52 bombers did. But I was like, holy shit, they shot one down. What did they shoot down? If it's
and there's no evidence, there's no documentation, nothing.
Yeah.
That's the only report that they shot one down. Not, not where it was, not who has it, no cover up. There was just one little thing and then it's gone. There's no word. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden a second one popped up and started following her too. Like, oh, his buddy might be mad. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, let's go. Well, that was the thing. They never said at any point that these craft were hostile. They were just,
that's the crazy thing. They were almost more observant and
guide
and
I just had a raven fly by my window. like right here.
You wanted to mock him, Dave.
I know.
Wanted to mock him.
Well, they're raven mockers. Why can't I mock them?
They're supposed to mock you.
Oh,
yeah. Wow. No documentation. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like
there's all kinds of documentation of the sightings during that time.
Nothing to cover it up.
But the only thing that they were like, no, German weapon. That's not aliens. It's a German weapon. And then they're
German
like,
weapon.
And then the Germans are like, well, we had it happen to us. We were having the same issue. And same with the Japanese. So now we're like, okay, well, now what?
Yeah. And they don't find out until after the war and the treaty's been signed and everything. And they're like, wait a minute, you were seeing this shit too?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. But it's just amazing.
I'm confused.
I know we are too, but it's okay.
That there was no cover up really put into play here. They just let them talk about it.
They let them talk about it. Well, I think the cover up. Oh yeah.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. Thanks for asking. Yeah. I mean, like
my name is Alice.
Like a big raven.
Evil.
Not evil. I don't think it's
Alice.
evil.
My name is Alice.
I think it's waiting for me. But I think I can see him. I think that's the problem is I can see the raven. So now
they're a myth. Dave said they're a myth on the show. I'm just saying.
I did, and since then I've been tormented by ravens.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. I might have to change my score.
Just saying. No, it's
what's up, caveman?
Caveman, what's up,
brother?
It's crazy. There's a report.
I remember you.
A report in the Indian Ocean.
Yeah.
Of the SS Pulaski. That was a Polish ship that repurposed by the British for the war. Where they had these balls of lights following them, but they report them as greenish, not reddish. To the point where the gunners were up on deck following them with their guns until they left. But yeah, it's crazy, right? Because they don't attack. They don't. The one got shot down. They still didn't attack. Whereas the reports in Vietnam, the ones that they shot fired back. Well, I know we'll talk about that probably sometime this season too. Yeah, but these guys never fired back. They're almost there to observe and report and fuck with you.
Yeah.
Like, what's that box?
It's like, let's make them sweat a little bit because they can't get away. I know. Every time I look in the mirror, I jump. So yeah. I'm still not used to this missing. Yeah.
Are you okay?
I know. I'd have to look at his upper lip again because I'm not sure if I'm okay anymore. But yeah, man, it was really cool. It's funny though, the cover up here. I mean, they covered up that that they took one out. There was
Yeah.
They shut that down.
Yeah.
But the cover up with the sightings
years.
in Europe and stuff, that
Yeah.
cover up was, oh, we're gonna say it's a German weapon. I think they knew the whole time that it wasn't.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, that's kind of where the cover up comes in, and where they start saying this is probably a German weapon.
Yeah.
But that even the planes right now, planes are still new in this time frame.
Right.
We haven't been flying that long when World War II happened.
Yeah. So, okay. So
let alone rocket use. They just the Germans literally just figured out how to set a rocket loose in the sky to blow shit up.
Yeah.
During World War II.
Well, and that's what the measurement was a rocket propelled aircraft. So it had great speed, but it couldn't turn worth a shit.
No,
so
no maneuverability. It flew straight.
Yeah. Or 6 as mine. What a cover to blame the Germans. Right. It makes sense during war times. Oh no, that's a German thing.
It makes perfect sense.
So speaking of blaming the Germans, let me talk just a little bit about Operation Paperclip.
All right, just a little bit, because we got
a little bit. I might want to bring this up next season.
Yeah.
But Operation Paperclip. So it says, general. This is connected to General Patton in World War II. There was substantial evidence that Germany was working on circular aircraft that could work not just in Earth's atmosphere, but also outside of it. It seemed obvious that the Germans had the technology and the scientists, but not the resources to produce such an advanced aircraft. For this reason, the U.S. attempted to extricate scientists from Germany and bring them back to America. The program had a code name of Operation Paperclip. Now, one of those people is a person by the name of Victor Schauberger. Victor Schauberger is the prominent physicist in Germany who invented anti-gravity propulsion.
Yes.
AKA the German Bell.
The German Bell. Yeah. Yeah. He was the prominent fixture to help.
I'm sorry. The German Bell. It said lower.
And the German Bell, as we know from what Bill blew our mind during the Kecksburg incident, very likely could have been the German Bell.
Right. Now, according to that report, just going to touch on one more thing. According to Operation Paperclip, the unredacted documents, the declassified stuff, they confiscated 2 ships.
Yes.
So they got 2 German Bells, or 2 circular aircraft.
Yes.
From that operation.
Yeah. And Caveman says he didn't know Dave Grohl flew in World War II, and that's kind of funny, but this is actually where David Grohl got the name.
Where he got the name from. Yeah.
It's not easy.
He is an avid alien enthusiast.
Yeah.
Love
the name Operation Paperclip. Yeah. Oh, dude, there's some cool stuff on Operation Paperclip, but I've got another one I'm going to bring up in a little bit.
Okay.
But that's connected to later on. Before we score it, we're going to talk about another operation.
40 years passed by, and a bunch of scientists get involved in what happened in World War II with the Foo Fighters. And that's where he came up with the St. Elmo's fire thing happening, with the wings burning up in the atmosphere and things like that, heating up in the atmosphere, I should say, because they're going so fast and friction happens.
Watched.
But they also came up, which I really did like the explanation of plasma in the air, in the atmosphere, created by electromagnetic discharges from the planes and things like that. I really did like that. Actually, that's kind of what happens with the Northern Lights. They consider that to be plasma, which can bring on a life of its own. My problem with that theory is the descriptions of these pilots and the maneuverability of these orbs does
Yeah.
not coincide with the plasma theory. As
No.
much as I mean, if there was a great explanation of what they were saying, plasma in the sky was actually a pretty good one. I was like, this is a great theory. But
Yeah.
how do you generate a movement? Because all the pilots say they were perfectly controlled
Yes.
movements and
Yes.
movements no plane can make.
Yeah.
If they're perfectly controlled, it means they're being piloted or
Yeah.
something, right? Or even if it's remote. We've talked about that before too, which
Yeah.
might be a reason why they never fired. They were just drones.
They were just drones. That's possible. We've talked about that in the past.
Yeah. That, but at the same time, maybe they are energy. Maybe they were plasma.
Maybe.
Because the
Maybe.
crazy thing is these things don't show up on any radar
Yeah. No.
as a physical
Oh, yeah.
object in the sky.
No, that's true. They didn't show up on any radar or anything like that. But yeah, who's to say that all life has to be carbon based?
Physical. Yeah. Or
I
carbon
mean,
based. Yeah.
that is perfectly logical that these could actually be energy based entities. They're plasma based
Yeah.
entities. So
Perfectly controlled speaks of
perfectly
advanced technology. I agree with you.
yeah, no, absolutely. And that's exactly what they said. Pilots were like that. Whatever is controlling that is way too intelligent to
Yeah.
be, you know.
And they're a
I
whole lot better pilots than we are.
Yeah, I do like the plasma thing too, but yeah, the amount of control and the amount of intelligence that was obvious.
The two things I really like about the plasma thing is the coloring that they're seeing.
It's possible.
It's possible. Thank you.
The multiple different coloring that they're seeing, whether it be
I do
from
like
white to
that.
orange to red or even green. I like the plasma theory there. And I like the fact that they weren't being
I
picked
was
up
killed.
on radar as a physical object in the sky. That
Mhm.
means they didn't necessarily have a physical mass, but
Right.
plasma does not have plasma is the fourth environment, right? So it would not have a physical mass. Now,
Look, we're
and
here.
then I read that and I took account to what these guys are saying, and I'm saying, well, yeah, they could be plasma, but I
Yeah.
don't think you're thinking that they're just these natural occurring things that happen in the
Yeah.
sky.
Yeah.
And I think that they're a different life form that are
Yeah.
coming through, or even again, freaking unmanned ships, because not only they saw cigar shaped ones, they
Mhm.
saw L-shaped ones, they saw spherical ones. I mean, they saw different types of ones that were happening, and they all had the same maneuverability, whether they're flying fast or flying slow. But you had a guy that was trying to shake one off his wing and
Yeah.
had to go into a dive to get rid of it at 300 something miles an hour just to get away from it.
Yeah.
And I don't think he got away
I'm
from
listening
it.
to
I
you.
think he's the thing just said, okay, I'm just gonna leave you alone now because I think I'm scaring you too much.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they could be unmanned drones being, from somewhere else
Could be controlled remotely.
Idiot.
remotely,
See? God damn it.
or or they are.
Or I could be an idiot. The the other thing is,
Yeah.
what if there's
Yeah.
there's a whole thing about what if this was some sort of possession? And if
Sure.
the the plasma energy is there, and some sort of entity that normally does not have any, that's completely invisible or completely non-corporeal, could pass through the plasma and grab some of it and then use it as some way to say, hey, I'm here.
Kind of like the PK energy thing that we've talked about before.
Exactly. Thank you, Kira.
Possession's not a far fetched. No, I like that too. I really do.
We've talked about plasma
maybe
energy and its connection
and
to ghosts and the paranormal too. So
someone in the fourth dimension would literally walk right through us
right.
because they wouldn't even see us.
No.
and we don't see them.
No.
So maybe it could have been a fourth dimensional being grabbing this energy source and taking possession of it.
Right.
I like that too. Some freaking Buckaroo Banzai shit going on.
That's right.
Video.
I bet there.
We command it.
I wish there were videos. I mean, Dave grabbed some awesome pictures of some of this stuff that he shared a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Those are
There's some cool stuff. Now I have a few sightings that I had listed. I mean, mainly is, stuff from those pictures.
yeah.
But I found one from September of 1941, and this might be something that you were hinting to, because this was on the Indian Ocean.
The Indian Ocean, yes.
Right. From the deck of the SS Pulaski, which was a Polish merchant vessel, 2 sailors reported a strange globe glowing with greenish light, about half the size of the full moon as it appears to us.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's big.
Yeah. Basically, and they watched this thing for over an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, followed them for just about an hour. Like I said, that they even put the gunners on the guns because the British repurposed the ship for war.
Yeah.
And so they got rail guns on there, and these guys are on the 50 cals sitting there.
Do we fire this thing, or like, yeah, what do we do? A New Zealand, I guess it's damaged. A New Zealand pilot flying with the number 3 squadron's night flight encountered 2 amber or orange colored lights that followed him on an intruder mission over northern France in December of 1942.
Yes.
One light was higher than the other, which appeared to rule out a wingtip navigation lights from the aircraft. The lights pursued him until he reached the English Channel. Another pilot from his unit experienced a similar phenomenon the following evening with a green light.
Yeah.
Which they didn't even let that out until 1955.
Yeah. Yeah, they hush.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh no, we're not talking about that."
The only reason they let it out because the things that were happening in Scandinavia with the rockets that were flying overhead that were change fucking direction.
Yeah.
They call them ghost rockets. And all this hubbub came out about those, and they released information about the thing that was happening with the Norwegian pilots.
Right.
Yeah, unfortunately, Caveman, I could not find a picture anywhere for the circular aircraft. But that's
still on the hush. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not letting that out. All I saw from Operation Paperclip was that they recovered 2 circular aircraft, or two German Bells. They recovered 2 aircraft that this guy Schluber made.
Come back.
Yeah.
Whether they were operational or they used them or whatever. Like this, from an aircraft carrier, you can see that there's an object there.
Yeah. There's an object in the sky behind it. And that is daytime. That is definitely probably metallic. But again, no reports off the radar. Now you got to think radar at this point in time is also brand spanking new too.
Oh yeah.
They're just now learning. In World War II, they were literally learning how to use radar during World War II.
Yeah. No, you can totally clearly see all this. None of this was doctored. These are all like actual pictures.
Shit, in World War II, commercial planes were still following highways.
Yeah.
Roads.
I mean, any of these things, you're like, I'm like, there's a ton more too. I was just like, that was
I think these pictures are being taken by people in the plane.
Yeah.
The co-pilots and gunners and things.
Yeah. Shocking new reports if technology is new. Radar makes sense. Yeah. Maybe it's unable to pick up. Yeah. We're thinking that if it's plasma based, then the radar wouldn't pick it up.
Yeah. But
And they
even
did.
then, with radar being new, if it's a metallic, even a solid object, but it is and say it is metallic and it's not readable by our radars at that time.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, there's technology that we have now that 10 years ago we wouldn't be able to detect on radar
Yes.
that we can detect
Exactly.
now. It's just the way technology
Yeah.
goes.
With radar being so new, it just might not been able to detect it. They could have been solid mass. It just not
Just
detectable
not be able
by
to be
that radar.
detected because it was so far advanced that it couldn't.
Idiot.
Dude, what is up with your
Culture.
ghost
I
tonight?
don't know, man. I'm getting ready to reboot this son of a bitch. Be nice.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's the Foo Fighters. I was really excited to talk about this. I was a little worried about talking about the Foo Fighters and the Battle of Los Angeles later for Scare Network
Mhm.
because I don't know how it's going to score. But what's happening? What happened in World War II? Actually, you can take a direct link what happened here and take it all the way to what we're talking about
On Scare Network.
on Scare Network. In
Yeah.
fact, there's a story where it just literally ties it all in.
Yeah, and you can, and we talked about it. You can take it all the way to the Kecksburg incident.
Yeah, you could take all the way to Kecksburg incident with the German Bell.
Yeah,
And that's interesting. And I don't
because they reported the same thing. It was a fireball, multiple colors going through the sky, was not attacking things,
Sacrifice.
and it sacrificed itself and crashed, and it seemed to slow down before it crashed.
Yeah.
I know, right? I think my my ovulus is insulting me. So there's something here that's really not happy with me.
It's wishing they had the word asshole right now.
I
Don't go down there.
Don't go down there. I don't think it's my mother-in-law, but she would call me that. So it could be
Agatha.
No, her name is not Agatha. But
man,
you're right.
I love the Foo Fighters. I love the Foo Fighters. I'm pretty sure I'll be changing a lot of my score, but
yeah.
So I left a lot of room to play.
Yeah, I got a couple more sightings if you want to talk about those, and then we can go ahead and score this.
Absolutely, Dave. You got more? Let's do it.
I got more. So October 13th, 1944, Royal Air Force crew from the 178th Squadron, based in Italy, reported seeing lights following their aircraft over Hungary during a night raid. And it says B-24 Liberator, flown by pilot officer Taylor, was followed by an intermittent red light for several minutes. The squadron had started reporting numerous similar instances as early as April 1944 and would continue doing so throughout the remainder of 44 into 45. So this squadron also got a whole bunch of activity.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the Royal Air Force Squadron.
Always.
Charles Bastian of the U.S. 8th Air Force reported one of the first encounters with the Foo Fighters over Belgium and Netherlands. He described them as two fog lights.
My name is Harry.
Hi, Harry. Flying at high rates of speed and could change direction rapidly. During debriefing, his intelligence officer told him that two Royal Air Force night fighters had reported the same thing, and it was later reported in British newspapers. Career Air Force pilot Dwayne Adams often related what he had witnessed: two occurrences of a bright light which paced his aircraft for a half an hour and then rapidly ascended into the sky. Both incidents occurred at night, both over the South Pacific, and both were witnessed by the entire aircraft crew.
Jesus.
And then Senator Ted Stevens described an encounter from the time he was a U.S. Air Force pilot during World War II. As recounted by the senator, I was flying up there.
You shouldn't be here.
I live here. Of course I'm supposed to be here. As recorded by the senator, I was flying up there and there was an object next
There's
to me.
evil everywhere.
I couldn't get rid of it. I slowed up. It was there. I sped up. It was there. I would dive. It would be there.
Evil.
I called. Nothing answered.
Wow. Wow. Imagine the panic that's setting in.
Right?
Like you're just like having that missile lock on you almost,
Living.
right? It's like
yeah. Like, you know, I was gonna say like the beginning of Top Gun with the dude, with Cougar where he lost it. But I was thinking because there was one time where I was up hiking in the mountains and I could feel that there was something like pacing me. There was something stalking me in the woods. I was by myself.
Yeah.
And it was but it was higher
Please
up.
go.
It was higher up the mountain, but it was like with me. And I was like, okay, I have no idea what that is, but there's something pacing me and something big. So I started moving faster. It stayed with me. So I ended up hanging back, setting up a defense perimeter. Turns out it was a mountain lion.
So it sounds like
Need help.
Yeah, mountain lion was pacing me.
I know,
Thinking I was gonna be food. And I'm like, I don't think so, dude.
Not today.
So yeah, I know how terrifying that is. And to be up in the air, to be up in the sky, and you can't radio anybody, you're by yourself.
Yeah.
And this thing is with you, like flying next to you, no matter how fast or slow or where you went, it was like right there.
Imagine the radio traffic coming in though.
That scared the crap out of me.
Yeah. Imagine that radio traffic that's coming in. You're like, I got nothing on the radio. What are you talking about?
Annoying.
Like, I see something right there. I did loop-de-loops. It stayed with me.
Yeah.
Dude, you'd probably be shitless, bro, is the term.
No, that'd be like turtle poke its head out. I'd cut it off. That'd be,
yeah.
I don't know. I just let it sit there.
What are you doing? Sitting my own shit right now. You won't believe what's happening to me. Yeah, that's absolutely terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. And you have nothing. I mean, the crazy thing is you have everywhere to go and nowhere to go at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scary thing midair, off the ground, some unknown force lurking. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, he had to be a senator before he would actually admit that it happened and tell the story.
Yeah.
He had to be like way out of the surface.
Yeah. He's not getting voted on. Jesus.
I'm already senator. Okay, good. I can talk about this now. But that's been the thing. People were afraid to voice stuff like this, thinking that
they would assume that you're fucking crazy automatically.
But now, stuff is being declassified. Stuff is, people are more apt to admit, hey, I've seen ghosts, or I've seen Bigfoot, or I've seen a UFO. That it makes shows like ours possible. Because I can't tell you how many times people were like, dude, you're crazy if you think ghosts are real. And I'm like, dude, hold my beer. Let me tell you what I think's real.
You don't think ghosts are real.
Yeah. Let me tell you what I think about ghosts and the paranormal. Hold my beer. I'll let you, here you go. Just I'll keep you posted on that. But no, this was cool. This is a really interesting story.
Yeah, the Foo Fighters is amazing. It's amazing.
I mean, the world has changed.
The world has changed. The world has changed.
Yeah, the world has changed.
The world has changed. I love that statement.
Yeah. A lot.
What also might change is our score.
All right, I think the score is probably going to end up going up a little bit, but we'll see what happens. Okay. So
we have a scoring system set up for alien events. The first thing is the encounter level. Now, this one is a little interesting.
We can affect you.
Okay. Yes, you can.
Well,
let me get your take on this, because I think this actually skips a level and does something else.
okay,
This is the first one that I've been like, oh, okay, well that's weird. So I don't know how to consider that.
well, see, I went first kind, second kind,
Obvious.
and then I kind of stopped there
Okay.
because there was no alien contact, right? I mean, there's no alien contact. The ship's seen.
Right. So first kind is a sighting, blah blah blah. Second kind is when the UFO has been spotted. And there's some kind of damage or something that accompanies it: terrain damage, crop circles, electronic or mechanical interference, gaps in memory. So that is definite.
I'm not sure.
Third kind is when the UFO has been spotted, but go further to include a visual confirmation of an animate object that is associated to the UFO.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And I'm thinking that's valid.
Okay. Yeah. I could take it to the third kind there.
We can't do fourth kind because, at least as far as we know, there was no abduction.
No abduction.
Okay.
No abduction. No physical alien contact.
Yeah. But let me read the fifth kind, because this is where I paused a little bit.
Okay.
The close encounter of the fifth kind is one where there is bilateral contact with an extraterrestrial entity. This can be through
brown hair.
And I'm thinking, okay, what if this isn't a ship? What if this is an entity?
Okay, if you take this where we're talking about the whole plasma,
if it's a plasma energy, if it's a plasma-based entity, then this is bilateral contact.
Yeah, because this would be the entity itself.
Right.
That's doing this.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't think about that till just now. That if that was the entity itself, that would kind of skip the fourth kind and does kind of take it to that fifth kind if we think it was there. So we're definitely at a 6, right? We agree up to 3.
We're definitely at a 6.
It kind of skips fourth, possibly
4, possibly 5.
Possibly 5.
Right.
Possibly 5.
Right.
Okay.
So I did put an 8 here.
Well, what I'm thinking
maybe we go 7.
I was thinking 7 because we skip fourth. We don't have the abduction, right? It doesn't have that kind built into it, and it possibly is a 5th. So that half the points could go there, and so I'm thinking maybe a 7.
I'll go along with that.
Yeah, I think that's the right call here.
Yeah.
That possibility.
Okay.
Of it actually being the entity itself. I like that.
Actually being an entity as opposed to a vehicle, which brings us to our second category, which is for vehicle. Now,
I liked the vehicle here. I like the different shapes.
I like the different shapes, the different the maneuverability. And the number of sightings.
Yeah, I was at an 8 here. Okay. I thought the number of sightings, the different kinds that they were seeing was good. Oh.
I
did not score this.
I went 10 here because I also included the shoot down of the craft. The one that was shot down, and then the second one that showed up.
Yeah, I did change my score on the physical because of that.
Yeah.
I didn't think about changing the score here. the multiple colors I like,
I like
the
that too.
multiple colors, the multiple shapes, the multiple sighting, the magnitude of sightings here is phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Where's the book?
Uh,
What did I say?
and I,
What did I say?
ooh,
Go to bed.
I, where were you? I have a feeling you're at a 10 here.
I was at a 10 here. I really liked the vehicle. And the number of sightings, the number of colors, the maneuverability, the capability of the craft, the fact that I mean, for the most part, they could not be outmaneuvered. And I didn't know at first that they, it said that they couldn't be shot down. And that was just the stuff over Europe. They couldn't, no matter what they did to shoot at them or anything, nothing happened to them. They just kept on coming. But then you reported that shoot down, and I was like, oh, that just kind of enhances things for me. But yeah, I didn't have to go 10.
Yeah, I
Kira agrees. She thinks it's a 10.
I guess I can't disagree with a 10 here. I guess I can't.
I think it's a true 10. I don't think it's a holy fuck 10. I think it's a true
10, but I think a 10. If I think about them being plasma,
yeah.
I mean, do I take that away from it being a vehicle, or is that a plasma vehicle? I mean,
is it a plasma vehicle, or if it's a plasma entity, but it flies as the entity of vehicle in itself?
I might give it a 10 for the fact that radar is not picking up. I know radar is new at this point in time, but radar's not picking up. It's definitely made out of something that cannot be picked up by radar at this point in time of radar technology. So I'll agree. I'll take it up to the 10 here. With that, I'll give the extra bonus points with that.
Okay, so the next category is for the aliens themselves.
Okay,
we don't.
I think I way underscored here.
I think I underscored too.
Okay, I originally was at a 2 here, but after the discussion where the plasma could be the entity itself, or even
I hate what I did,
or even something that has been possessed by maybe a fourth dimensional being to use it as a travel device, that's crazy thought, and it's probably really far stretched, but we talked about it.
You're
right?
welcome. Yeah.
I think maybe a 6 here.
I'd be down for that. I'd be down for a 6 there.
I think with if I count the plasma as being an entity, or if I and then count, because I put 2 because it has to be, something's controlling these things.
Right.
Right.
And that's what I did too. But then I'm like,
And
well,
then,
what if the plasma is the entity? Or what if it's some kind of different type of entity, like what you were talking about, a fourth dimensional being that takes possession of the plasma and uses it as a vehicle.
Yeah, it takes possession of this natural occurring thing that's happening in the atmosphere. They are not
fully visible. Plasma can be a true power source and can be changeable. I'd rate it a 5. That's good.
Good job, Kira.
I like the way you score, Kira.
Yeah, I still like my 6.
I'm gonna take a 6. I think a 6 is good. Because we initially had a 2.
Yeah.
And then we get 2 points for it being a plasma-based entity and 2 points for it being a possession.
Possible fourth dimension type thing happening. Yeah.
So that makes total sense. With our scoring system, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Nicola.
Evidence. I thought, I know you were going to be at 10. I knew you were going to be at a 10.
I just
I don't like it.
I don't care if you don't like it.
I knew you were going to be at a 10 here. I was at
a ton of evidence here.
I was at a 6. And
7.
It just said 7.
Screen.
Maybe I should be at a 7.
I think you should be at a 10, bro. But how is this not a 10?
You're not even at 10. 10 seems really hard for this one for me though. I mean, yes,
Really?
there's some great pictures. There's some great pictures. You pulled out some great
Great
pictures.
pictures, great
I've seen some
reports.
great pictures.
I
Now,
love the stuff. I love the evidence here with all the sightings, with the different squadrons, and now
I
with
like the
different.
news article from January 2nd, 1945. I really did like that news article with yeah,
That's
that's the one
December
from
18th, 44.
1944. Yeah.
That's the one
Very
from
good. 19
April 16th, 1950.
1950.
Where
January
they
2nd,
they
1945
kept
was
going.
the
Okay,
basically interviews with the 415.
what about the stuff that they're doing now with the Robertson report and all the
Yeah.
other stuff? That's got to be
Yeah,
tacked into that, right?
we didn't even talk about the Robertson report, really. God,
Just that
that's
we,
good
ice
too.
crystals or the electrostatic or the
Yeah.
other stuff. We didn't talk about all that other stuff with the Robertson report, but there's all kinds of stuff that they did in 1953 with the Robertson report and the and the other,
Come and go.
and then the stuff that
Because says evidence is a 10, tons of it.
yeah.
Uh all right. I'll meet you up here with the 10. I'll meet you up here with the 10.
Okay.
But I can't change my score on the cover up.
No. Well, I went too high on the cover up. I think it's got to come down. So
I
where were you on the
It'll
cover?
drill around you.
I do think there's a
was
cover up.
was there a little bit of a cover up? Yes. There was. There was a little bit of cover up with the alien or the German uh planes or secret weapon
With
type
saying
thing
it's
happening.
a German weapon,
Yeah.
and then
A
with the
little
Robertson file,
tiny,
how they were like, "Oh no, it's ice crystals and it's this and that."
little tiny bit, right?
Little
And they
tiny
kind of
bit.
hit
I gave a
plasma
1
stuff.
point bump to that.
I ended up on the cover up at a 3. I
Oh,
just I don't think
that's
the
even lower
fact
than I
that
expected you to be.
yeah. No, I just I don't see that big of a cover up. In fact, not once has the military ever come out and said, "No, it wasn't aliens."
No, but that's the
Not
thing.
once.
They never said it wasn't
Prison.
aliens, but they went, "It's a new German weapon." They
But
didn't
it
say,
was
"Oh no, it's not aliens." They just went, or the crash ship, they just gone.
look okay,
That's got to
but
be a cover up.
look at the stories for it's a new German weapon, and then look at the stories for it's fucking the Foo Fighters. The
Guy.
German weapon thing is very minimal compared to what's going
Well,
on.
it was basically like they let all this stuff
It's
happen, and then they had a press conference and
they
went,
they
"German weapon."
they don't even really
Reginald.
fight it though. They're just
No.
like, yeah, we're just gonna put something out there.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
it was a very lazy cover up for me.
Oh, it was.
They didn't fight what these pilots were saying. They let them talk about whatever the fuck they wanted to say.
Yeah.
They put out this nice little press conference, said, no, it's a German secret weapon. And then they went silent on again, and the pilots kept saying what they were fucking saying. And then you have some scientists talking about, St. Elmo's fire and the ice crystals and plasma in the atmosphere
Burning in me.
way down the road.
Yeah. Still trying to cover it up.
And I didn't consider that a cover up. I considered that
Ahead.
an extra explanation of what
Like
could have occurred.
they were trying to justify it. They were trying to come up with
like,
something that wasn't
this is
alien.
what it does happen, but the scientists itself don't say it wasn't aliens, but
Right.
a likely thing that could be occurring were these plasmas or ice crystals or even St. Elmo's fire. They never once even say in that they're not aliens. They don't say it.
No.
And that's why I have to give the credit to it, not the laziness of the cover up, and I can't score it as high as I would score up on other things that will cover up. Like the Battle of Los Angeles, the cover up completely different. This one was a very lazy cover up.
I agree with that.
And I couldn't I have to the 3 is kind of I'm like solid on the 3 here. I'm like I can't go higher than that. I don't see them being
What is this?
So what's the word I'm looking for? So aggressively trying to cover this up. They're not.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's I'm like, oh,
I don't think they were covering up so much as they were just ignoring it.
it was okay. Now, how about this? It was harder to find the cover up
Ernest.
on this than it was the actual stuff about the Foo Fighters.
I
It
agree with
was
that.
harder to find the cover up than it was to find the information about the
I
alien.
agree with that. I agree with that. I'm not saying
That was
it shouldn't be a low
completely
score.
different
I'm
than-
just saying I don't think it's a
Butcher.
3.
She told me.
Now I went high. I went too high with it, and I acknowledge that. I originally went with a 7.
That seems crazy for considering my standpoint of on the cover up
Because
for me.
I considered the fact that they were ignoring all those reports, and there's my dog. They were ignoring all the reports and just saying, and then they went German weapon. And they were okay. So German weapon, great. And then the Germans went, we had this stuff happen to us. And then they went, oh well shit.
Yeah, and they just goes with like, oh, I guess it wasn't a German weapon.
So the press conference has to be at least a little bit of a cover up. So I give 2 points to that. I give 2 points to the fact that they completely buried the ship that they shot down. They buried that. There's
they bury, right? They completely don't talk about it.
So 2 points for that.
Do they cover it up?
Yeah, they didn't cover it up. They buried it, but they buried as a cover up.
We're not talking about it. We're
not talking about it. That's a cover up, bro. That's a cover up. That's like, you can believe what you want. You can take your 3, and that's fine. But
tell your wife went to the bar and she goes, "Oh, did you have fun?" And you didn't tell her it was a kitty bar.
I think the Robertson report is trying to be a cover up because they're trying to come up with some alternate explanation for what happened. So I'm lowering my score to a 5, and I'm sticking there. So we'll average up and go 4.
Yeah. Okay. Because we're gonna sit here and debate this all day.
Listen.
We are, and it's going to be just like we had it that
That's
one
where
time.
I am.
And we're never going to agree. So we're just gonna we'll take the thing. All right.
Take the mid range.
We'll take the mid range. So moving towards
sightings was easy. Sightings is a 10, right?
Easy.
I mean, multitude of reports coming out from multitude of different pilots, ships. It's just a lot.
Yeah.
So I had to be a 10 here. Had to be. That was probably the easiest score when doing everything here was the sighting. 5 is a solid, fair marker. Be quiet, Kira.
but we had to say 4 because John wants to give it a 3.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
So
and that's there's some subjection here to where what you believe is one thing versus what I believe is one thing. Like my thing with
it's the beauty of the show.
It's the beauty of the show is that we're coming together with our scores so that we can get the average.
Yeah.
Because we have 2 different viewpoints.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Mika agrees. Sightings is a 10.
Earth.
Visible sightings, many. Very easy to land on the. No, this was a no-brainer. This was a no-brainer.
So easy. And me and Dave like debating with each other. So
we do. It's fun. Because it's all love. We're brothers. We know. It's not like we're
about what we talk about.
We don't get mad. We don't get mad about it. It's just like, but we get passionate about.
To your right.
About it. Will you stop? To my right. Okay. Yeah, that's where the fucking Raven was. But yeah, so
love it.
Mika and Kira, it is so great to have you on here. I just want to point that out.
Stay out the woods.
Stay out of the woods. Good advice. Stay out of the woods. I live in the woods, so that's no fun there for me. All right, so let's move on to audio.
So audio here, this again for me was easy.
I was tough. I think I overscored it. Because I tried to find audio where there's not.
I gave 1 point to audio. Not that I scored it a 1. I gave 1 because 1 is our 0, right? So
one
I gave
is our
1,
0.
Well, I gave 1 point to audio because of radio traffic happening,
10.
and these guys freaking
That's
out.
what I was saying. There was radio traffic going back and forth about it from the squadrons.
Yeah.
The radar thing, the ships that were doing stuff, and then the news conferences. I don't know. I ended up going 5.
I was at
But
a 2.
But it shouldn't be a 5.
Yeah, I was at a 2 here because there's no audio talked about at all with the Foo Fighters.
Yeah. No, I'll match
They
you
don't
too.
say they don't admit anything, but I had to give a little bonus point for audio because I was originally at a 1, and I was
Yeah.
like, man, but what about the radio traffic that's coming through, man? Because that radio traffic has to be kind of crazy. Is that true audio for what we're talking about? No, not really, because when we're talking about audio, it's like, is it propulsion making
Dangerous.
noise? Did it crack? Did it make noise when it
There was the one
crashed?
thing that was shot down. I don't know about that.
But they don't even talk about an audio on that. Just that they shot
Fond
it
memories
down.
here.
They shot it down.
And so I was like, there's not even audio with that.
There's
What
not
the
even-
hell?
Yeah, you can nitpick and go, okay, they're the planes and the bombers and all that kind of stuff. I think the radio report makes sense because that's where the name Foo Fighters came from.
Yeah.
Was from the radio contact and all that. I did give points to the radar itself not detecting it, because that's kind of but I made it almost like a ping, like that boom sound where it's but I was like, okay, well that's more, I'm thinking more sonar than radar, because that's where sound goes out and then comes back, right?
Yeah.
So radar is a little bit different.
Yes.
So no, I'm at your 2 there, bro. I agree.
Perfect.
It's what I want.
It's what I want. Physical objects.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably gonna have to change my score here. I scored high. I went 8. I was at an 8 thinking this. Like with the things being shot down. But if I think about it being an entity or things like that with the plasma stuff, yeah, I could see it being a 10 here. I could really see it being a 10 here.
Major. I think I am.
We have spoke before.
We have spoke before. But yeah, I do think it's 10.
I think I underscored the emotion, to tell you the truth.
If anything, I overscored it because I went 10 here too.
Like I said, I think I went 8. I went 8, and
I
the
think
lack
the pilots were all freaked out.
And then the government going, it has to be some type of German
have a German weapon, and that panicked the people, and
yeah, they think they're winning a war, and all of a sudden
it was during this is all happening in World War II. So you're like, oh, what the hell is that? Everything's trying to kill me.
Yeah. And that story that you talked where that guy was just trying to get away and get away and get away. It's like, no, I'm right on you. The panic that would be setting in at that point in time, like good reference was the beginning of the original Top Gun. Dude, that's like I said, you have everywhere to go and nowhere to go at the same time. It's dude, that's a shitty feeling. And 10, I can agree with that. Like I said,
it's not easy.
It's not easy.
I thought I was right on the 8. I thought I was. I really did. And then with the discussion and that one story really kind of and the timing of the press conference when you think you're winning the war, and all of a sudden they got this new secret spy plane thing that can
what happened to the public with that? That set everybody in a tailspin.
Yeah. That's literally months before Germany surrenders. I mean, so okay. How did you feel on the danger level, bro?
Okay. I felt that how does one quickly retreat in the air, right? No, I think there's danger here, but most of the danger is potential danger. I do think that there was an attack, but I think that the ship's trying to fly this way and that to try to get away from it can cause problems. I think it scared people. There were, the one that was shot down. So I did go mid-range here. I went 6.
Okay,
Right.
you're the opposite side of me. I went 4.
Okay.
I
We're both
I
mid-range. We're just on the
yeah,
opposite side of the
opposite
mid-range.
side.
Yeah. I just think if they're
For
plasma
me,
entities
yeah,
or if it's
the thing,
possession of, I think there's something to
yeah,
that.
I thought there was an element of danger here, and the element of danger, really, to tell you the truth, as much as they fucked with pilots, that
Mhm.
even the one they shot down wasn't bothering nobody. It was just keeping pace.
Yeah.
There were the unknowing
Yeah.
of the potential here is why I was like, okay, there's a possibility of danger here because of the knowing of what's going on.
Mhm.
Can I go up? Can I give it some more with creating such a
My
panic
name
in
is
fighters
Charles.
that they could have made a
You
mistake
are
and died?
annoying.
Like,
Mm.
you create such a mistake while you're trying to get away from it, like the guy that was running away, and he just kept matching and matching and matching and freaking him out.
Yeah.
That can create a state of panic to where you crash your plane. I mean, that's a very legitimate danger, and
Yeah.
I could see that, and I'd be willing to go up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, either way, if we stick to where we're at, we're meeting at 5. So
So
it doesn't.
we might
So
as
if
well
you
just
go up
throw it
to
at a
5 and
5.
I come down to 5, it's going to
Who's
happen
talking?
anyway.
We'll just throw a
But
5 here.
yeah, let's just put a 5. But it was, for me, that was the thing. It wasn't that they were the danger. We were endangering ourselves because of our fear of these things.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I won't lie to you.
So that put me at a 5, and then I went 1 up because there's a potential of they could start something and then we wouldn't be able to stop them.
Yeah. No.
That's why I ended up at a 6.
Maybe we could stop them, but they shot that one down. You know what I mean?
They shot 1 down. Otherwise, we completely were
Asylum.
we were completely outclassed.
Yeah. Yeah. His buddy just come, "Hey, why'd you do that?" "Oh, we're leaving now."
I'm sorry, that's my bad. It was an accident.
If we stick with the 5 on danger, I went up 19 points.
Okay.
I went up 19 points, bro, which would take us up to a 72.
Well, we're at 74, so you went up higher than that.
4, 5, 9, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I had a 53. I went up 19 at 72. Did I have a 53 to begin with?
I don't know.
Be quiet.
12, 14, 20, 23, 33, 35, 43. No, I did not. 51, 55. That's where I fucked up. So we're at a 74.
There we go. So yeah, 74.
But still, I still, okay, I went up 19 points.
You still went up 19 points. You just didn't add it right the first time.
Where were you originally at?
I was originally at a 78, so I came down 4 points.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right.
But I'm okay with that.
Like I said, and I told you when we started, I probably way underscored this. I left a lot of room to work with on this one. And I wanted to really wait for the discussion to see where I really landed on some of these. Like the only one I was truly dead set on was actually the cover up. That was like it's like, no, I can't go higher than this.
That was your line in the sand. I saw that when you did it. You were like, no further.
Yes.
No soup for you.
You shall not pass.
You shall not pass.
Joshua.
I mean, that's where I was at with that one. I just don't believe in the cover up on this one. I mean, the cover ups that we've talked about beforehand on other alien events that we've already talked about. I know this is like only the fourth one that we've done now. Maybe yeah, fourth one, third one, fourth
Abigail.
one. I don't know. It's like 3 or 4.
Well, this is our 5th alien thing, but our 3rd show. So
yes, yeah. So I just I think about all the other cover ups that we've talked about, and I was like, oh, there's really, I mean, yeah, there's a little bit, but not really, not really. Like it was, like I said, it was harder to find the cover up than it was the actual what was happening. All right, so Dave,
Follow is left.
The big question is, do you believe this was mass hysteria, air pressure, nausea,
What year is
whatever
it?
you want to call it, icicles, St. Elmo's fire, or do you believe this was truly? Do you believe these were true alien encounters during World War II?
Yeah, no, I think this was extraterrestrial in origin, and I think they were here to observe. One of the things, or it could be some sort of time travel, which goes into your 4th dimensional being idea. Because one thing this is like they came because this is one of the biggest pivotal events that have ever happened on this planet.
What is this?
Was World War II.
Yeah.
And I believe that they came here to observe that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're just getting new into the flying age. I mean,
we were just getting into flying. The atomic bomb had just been invented.
Yeah, it's
so with the atomic bomb and the flight, and we just got radar. I believe they came to witness like this great event that happened in our history.
Yeah, it really did feel like it was a more observe and report thing, and then you had a couple of them going, "Let's fuck with this guy."
Well, I think they were playing around. They were kind of bored. They were like, "Okay, these, let's follow these guys." And oh, hey, they saw me. Okay, yeah, go ahead, move. Yeah, I'll do that. I do that. I do that all the time. If I'm, going for a run and somebody's ahead of me and thinks I'm following them, I'll follow them for a little bit.
Definitely felt like an observer report thing. I'm kind of with you there. I believe this was definitely an extraterrestrial event that happened during one of the most pivotal times of our history. And I think they wanted to see what was going to happen. Would we go to so far as to drop the bomb on someone? I think they wanted to know that. I think how crazy
I
are
think they wanted to know how destructive we really were.
I think that's it kind of was, and
maybe that's why they were following us around, to see if we'd shoot them down or try to go after them.
Yeah.
Man,
because I tell you what, you go from this and you go to things that got reported in Vietnam, the way they acted was completely different. Was it a different species? Possibly. Were they more aggressive? It could have been, but
we know of at least
we fired on the ones in Vietnam. They fired back.
Oh no, they shot at there was some shit. Yeah, they fired back. They were like, nope, we're not taking this. But there's at least 4 species that have observed this planet, and but like you said, this could be a drone type of thing, where they sent these drones back in time to witness this event, or this could be something like they were, like we were talking about, these plasma-based entities that were watching us, or entities that took possession of plasma to use it as a vehicle to watch us, or were they trying to guide us to do something specific?
Yeah, that's
the whole thing. The whole thing about that because we dropped those bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
Yes,
in 1945.
Yep.
Were they trying to get us to say, "Oh, new German weapon, the war's still going on," to force us our hand, to make us go ahead and drop those bombs, or Was there something else? Were they trying to? It's kind of like a Matrix thing with the Oracle, where it was like, hey, don't worry about the vase, and you're, well, what vase? And you turn around and you knock the vase over.
Yeah.
Something like that, where, if they hadn't have shown up, would the war have ended differently? Would something else have happened?
That's a crazy thought. Like, did they force that? That's a crazy thought. Like, did they
bring about something that we don't know about?
Yeah, they knew what the history was, and then we started going in a completely different direction during the war. I'm like, well, we got to change this because this has to happen.
Yeah, we need to distract them with this to get them to do that. They needed to do some kind of butterfly effect on us to get us to change the future.
That's crazy thought. Crazy thought.
I'm changing my danger score. So back up to 6.
Should be scared.
You should be scared. See? You should be scared. Back up to a 7. Now it's a 7.
Arrest.
I'm erect. Was that erect?
No, arrest.
Oh, okay.
Arrest, Dave. Arrest.
I take that back. I'm not erect.
Environment.
Anymore.
Oh, that's hilarious. So we got 2 more shows that we have scheduled before we have to start thinking about our next groupings of schedules. Yeah. Next week we'll be back with locations.
Okay, no show next week.
Oh, that's right. Not next week.
Not next week, the week after. So we're back on April 8th. Fools. April Fools. We're not going to be here. Ha ha. No. That would be funny. Oh, so we'll be back next week with locations, and then we'll put a little video on April Fools. Sorry, April Fools. We're not. No. It's Easter week. We're spending time with family. I have a funeral to go to. So we're taking care of family, getting stuff done. And then we'll be back on April 8th with locations.
Yes, April
you
8th
should dig
locations here. Where we're going to be talking about the Rolling Hills Asylum.
Oh, I can't wait for that, bro.
It's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. And then we'll continue on with scoring the locations on Scare Network that they have done documentaries on, where we're gonna be talking the cul-de-sac in New Jersey, which Dave probably has yet to finish the 7
I haven't
episodes.
started it. I haven't started it.
Darkness in Suburbia, actually, which might change the way it's going.
Well, I'm wondering if you want to change it because the Shanley just dropped.
The Shanley just dropped, but the problem is
you want to do that.
We don't get to watch it for 2 weeks.
Suspect.
That's suspect.
We won't get to see it for 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, but no, well, we can see it.
No, my subscription ran out.
Oh, so no, we can't see it.
I'm waiting too, brother. I'm waiting too.
Okay. But okay, so yeah, no, we'll wait till the next one. So yeah, let's do Darkness in Suburbia then.
Yeah. All right. Well, unless there's another one where you just want to watch 1 episode to 7, let me know. We can always change it. Nothing is set in stone on spirits.
I wouldn't mind going back and doing Amityville.
The Resurgence again?
Yeah. Like we did with Maleficent, get that in the scorebooks. Do a little brews and reviews on it.
We definitely got to do a brews and reviews on Amityville. We haven't done that.
Mm-hmm.
We have scored Amityville.
Well, we scored Maleficent too, but the categories have changed.
But the categories have changed.
Yeah.
We'll think about that. We have Letchworth and all that stuff.
Letchworth and Old Town and
yeah. There's tons.
There's tons. There's a few we can choose from, but
yeah,
I wouldn't mind doing
more time. If you need to do more time to watch those 7 episodes, don't have a problem changing it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I might be able to do it. It's especially since I'm going to be out of town next week for several days. So
Have 2 weeks to kind of
I
knock
have
it
2
out.
weeks to do it. So but we got to iron out what we're doing for the next couple months anyway.
Yeah, we do have to sit down.
It's not for you.
It's not for you.
But yes, Mika, thank you for saying that. Great stream. Looking forward to Rolling Hills. We are looking forward to Rolling
We're looking
Hills.
forward to Rolling Hills too. That's going to be fun.
That's going to be good. That's going to be really good. But before we get out of here, I want to say thank you to Spotify for podcasters. Without them, you wouldn't get to hear our lovely voices on your favorite places to listen to your podcast, whether it be Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and of course Amazon Music. That is all the places that you can hear us. Probably more because our stuff gets shared all throughout other streams like Crackle and all that good stuff too. I've seen us on there. But they are a great place to start your podcasting career because it's completely free. They put it out to all those places completely free, and it's a great way as you build your audience to continue with them because as you build your audience, they will help you monetarily with what are those people that run commercials, advertising and all that good stuff. Sponsorships. That's the word I'm looking for. They help you out with they help you find sponsorships and read online ads and all that good stuff. So thank you for Spotify for podcasters. Appreciate you. Of course, we want to thank StreamYard. StreamYard is where you get to see our beautiful mugs everywhere, like YouTube at the Spiritual Spirits or Facebook, which is at Spiritual Spirits JD, and of course Instagram, which for some reason is us on the hour limit again, which is at Spirits with Spirits 13. I don't like it. I don't know why they're doing that. Like after the first week of doing our lives on there, we didn't have an issue, and now we're having an issue with the hour thing again. I don't like it. But
I know, almost thinking about switching back to Twitch.
Yeah. All right. But we appreciate StreamYard for allowing us to do that. I was thinking about
maybe doing, what was it? Wasn't Crackle, but there was Rumble.
Rumble?
I'm wondering about maybe doing Rumble.
Podcast or live stream?
Live stream.
I'll have to take a look at that. Take a look. But thank you for StreamYard for allowing us to do the multi-streams. And of course, thank you to Scare Network. We love doing our exclusive episodes. You guys have a ton of stuff. They just got the rights to put the Hell House LLC on their stuff. So they have a lot of cool horror on there. That's all for you, Mika and Kira. A lot of cool stuff. If it's horror, true crime, or monsters, you can find it on Scare Network TV. Not only are they doing their own documentary series with paranormal documentaries, they have a lot of different stuff on there. It's completely free with some ads. If you don't like commercials, you can pay the $4.99 a month. It's worth it. Billy and those guys over there are doing an amazing job, and just want to say thank you for allowing us to be part of the family over there.
It's not for you.
But with that said, and saying thank you to everybody that listens, watches, whether it be live or replay or on the podcast, we love all you guys. We appreciate you. You make it worth doing even more than we love doing it without you. So
my life was taken.
Thank you. I'm sorry your life was taken.
I'm sorry your life was taken. Yeah. Oh man, this is a good show. Again, yeah, thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. So be safe. God bless, and we'll see you next time on the Spirits of Spirits podcast. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Spirits with Spirits.